Hello everyone. This is the first of the notes that I'm going to create for you on video, and basically what I want you to do is follow along with all of these notes as I go through them, and all you have to do is fill out what I have down here whenever I go through it. It's just like we would do this in class. The one thing you need to understand is when you come back to class the next day after you take the notes, you're going to do the assignment in class. For my 7th hour geometry class, this will be the assignment that goes along with section 1-1 notes. And we will do these in class together or in groups or independently, depending on what your needs are. Honors, you're going to do the same assignment plus these problems from the textbook. Okay, and you don't have to carry your textbook to and from class. If I don't have enough class set textbooks, then I will have copies of the pages for you to use in class. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is all the definitions, all the terminology, and this right here is very good information for you, understanding that architects use this information. I try to put interesting topics up here to help you see how this information is used in the real world. Okay, so we have lines, line segment, otherwise known as a segment, ray, and plane. Basically, you know that a line has rays that go in opposite directions. It never ends. It extends in two opposite directions. And to name a line, you're going to either say line capital A, capital B for this one, or it's going to have a line over the top of it. Now, I know this did not come out great, so technically you should have double arrows on either end. If I had other points listed on here, like a C in here, let's go ahead and put a C in here. So I put a C in here, then this line actually could be named line AC. It could be CA. It could be BA or BC, any 2 points, but you only name it with 2 points, 2 capital letters for a line. But you can pick any 2. Now with a segment, you're going to name it with the 2 endpoints, whatever the 2 endpoints are, and use the segment symbol over the top. Notice there's no arrows over that symbol. A ray starts with an endpoint when you name it. So whatever the endpoint is, so notice R is the endpoint, you're going to start with that endpoint when you list it. And then you're going to put another point that indicates the direction the arrow is going in, or the ray is going in. Notice when you're naming it, it's always going to be in this format. You're always going to start with the endpoint and put the second letter indicates what direction on the ray that you're going in. And the arrow is always pointing to the right. Always 2 capital letters. Okay, so it says a ray is named starting with its endpoint. So if you remember that, that'll help. Now, a plane is just like a slice in space, and I don't mean a plane that you fly in. I just mean like a slice in space, and I will go over this more clearly in class tomorrow. But basically, they're named with at least 3 capital letters in any order. And notice V, that's not a point on the plane, but these are all points on the plane. So you could say plane V and use that script capital letter. Okay, so now if we move on to all of these are pretty straightforward. Point W is just a point and W. Number 2, line MN, you're just trying to draw the figure, so you can draw a figure and draw it just like this. Put 2 points, make sure you have your double arrows, and you can put N here and M here, or the other way around. For number 3, that's a line segment, so we could do it in the same order as it's written here or the other way around. The only one that's order specific is a ray, and this is supposed to be a ray. I know it's hard to see the arrow. So let's see, I could do it just like this, and E is the end point, and then F is the point that tells you what direction you're going in. Okay, number 5, name each figure using words or symbols, words and symbols, excuse me. So number 5, we can call this line CD, or you can do CD, and then you have the symbol. Preferably the symbols are the ones I want you to focus on. It's more important to learn the symbols because I know you know the words already. For this one, this is a ray because it only goes in one direction forever and ever. So then you can write ray, ST, start with the endpoint first, or you could do ST with the ray symbol over the top. Alright, with this one, let's see, name the plane in two different ways. So I could name this plane, and I have a script letter up here with no point, so I can name it plane Q. Or I can name it plane LMN. If there were 4 points on there, you could use 4 points, or 5 points. With planes, you just want at least 3 letters. Just don't go back up and try and name a line or a segment or a ray with 3 letters. Don't do that. It's only 2 letters. Okay, so for this one, this is a segment. Name it just like that. And then if we write it out, we could say segment WX. So we learn a lot of definitions at the beginning of the school year, so just try and understand that. Okay, now we have new terms to you probably. Collinear, non-collinear, coplanar, non-coplanar. Now, collinear just means it's points on the same line. So on the back, notice it says F, G, and H. F, G, and H, they're non-collinear. Well, 2 of them are, but the third one isn't. So, I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense that 2 points will always be collinear because you can define a line with 2 points. Okay. F and G, it says, are collinear, which you need to have another point on there. So I'm going to put another point. How about F, G, H? How about J? So we're going to put a J here as well. Okay, so you have F, G, and J. It does not make sense, and I don't know why the textbook company does this, it doesn't make sense to say that F and J are collinear because 2 points are always collinear. You need to have at least 3 points that you're talking about. So F, J, and H are collinear, not G. What am I doing? First day of school. Man, we'll get better. Okay. Coplanar is points or lines that are on the same plane. So notice W, X, and Y are on the same plane. And more than likely I will do a little activity with you tomorrow to explain coplanar and non-coplanar just a little bit better. Obviously, let's see, W, X, and Y are all on this plane, but W, X, Y, and Z are non-coplanar because Z is not on that same plane with W, X, and Y. That's what makes all these points together are non-coplanar. But only if you only look at W, X, and Y, those are coplanar. Okay, moving on. Number 9. Let's see, 3 collinear points. And there's lots of possible answers for this. So I'm just going to give you one, and you can write down others if you like. Okay, so 1, 3 collinear points. That means they're on the same line. So I could put, let's see, C, P, and D. C, comma, P, comma, D. Make sure you put commas between so it doesn't look like you're naming a plane. Okay, and then 3 non-collinear points. Well, C, P, and A. C, P, A. And then 4 coplanar points. Those are points that are on the same plane. 4 of them, A, C, B, and D. A, C, B, and D. Keep in mind, most of these problems down here, there's going to be more than one correct answer. 4 non-coplanar points. Well, I'm going to pick 3 that are on this plane and then pick 1 that's not on the plane. So let's see, A, B, D, A, B, and D are all on that plane, and then J is not. So that makes all 4 of these points together are non-coplanar because one of them is not on the same plane. Okay, 2 lines that intersect CD. So let's see, CD, 2 lines that intersect CD. All right, so we have AB intersects CD and JK. And you can highlight it on your paper if you like, just to make it a little easier to see. So I'm going to write AB, and then I'm going to write JK. Not just kidding. JK. All right. Let's see, number 14. The intersection of JK and R. Line JK and plane R intersect right here at point D. And like I said, tomorrow we're going to do a short activity on this kind of an issue so you can get more concrete examples of what that really looks like in the real world type of use, hands-on types of activity. And we're going to work through these problems. Now you're going to do it pretty much independently, but you're going to have a group of students that you can work together and you can ask me questions in class. And then the next day, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday when you come into class, you're going to turn in notes and your assignment stapled together for a grade. Have a great afternoon.